Today I want to talk to you about the GodHand Kamifude Brushwork Pro. Now, full disclosure, GodHand did provide these brushes to review. However, I want to give you guys my full and honest opinion of them based on what I found while using them and several days of testing. One of the first things I noticed as soon as I opened the box was just how quality these brushes feel. From the GodHand logo on the handle all the way to the aluminium caps that they provide for every brush, everything just feels premium compared to some of the cheap hobby brushes I've used in the past. Here's a quick comparison between one of the GodHand brushes and one of my cheap brushes of a similar size. You can see that the bristles are a lot more compactly tied together on the GodHand than on the other brush, which gives you a lot more control on where the paint will go. Now, what's so special about these brushes is that they are made specifically for solvent paints. So for those that paint their kits with enamel or lacquer, these will last a lot longer than your regular hobby brushes. So one of the reasons why these brushes are so good against solvent paints like lacquer and enamel is that they use a high accuracy artificial hair, otherwise known as PBT, which is all made in Japan, which is almost designed specifically to withstand the harshness of those paints, which would otherwise make regular brushes fray and break very easily. Another thing that's great about these brushes is that they come in a variety of shapes and sizes to pretty much suit your every need. So for example, this one that I'm using right now is great for painting your kit's eyes, while there are other ones that are great for stuff like gradation. There's a brush that's made specifically for your figure's eyebrows, and there's another one that's made slightly longer than the rest to help with hard to reach areas. So let's talk a few negatives. So one of the things that I had to get used to when using these brushes is just how thick the handles are. Typically when I use hobby brushes, I tend to go for the thinner type just because I felt that it gave me more control. But once I started to use these more, I had kind of gotten used to them. The biggest negative I could probably think of right now is the price for these things. Right now, these retail for around about $15 per brush, which is kind of a hard pill to swallow considering that you can get a pack of regular hobby brushes from your local hobby store for around about $5 to $7 a pack. Now, you kind of had to balance that out with the fact that these brushes will probably last you a lot longer than those cheap hobby brushes. Now, in the extensive testing that I did on these things, every test I would have to clean these out with enamel thinner, and usually with the cheaper brushes, once I cleaned it out with an enamel thinner a couple of times, the hairs would start to splay and things would start to look broken and they wouldn't be able to hold their shape, probably around about 2 to 3 washes. Now with these brushes, I have not seen a single hair out of place. Everything still felt like I had just opened the brush and the hairs still had that spring, they would still bounce back into shape, and that's actually quite amazing in my opinion. So the big question is, should you buy these brushes? Well, it really depends. If you do a lot of detail painting on your kits, then yes, absolutely. Despite the high price tag, these brushes will last you a very long time. They are built to last and they will not fray on you despite what paint you use. So I think absolutely, but if you don't do a lot of kit painting, then maybe for now stick with the cheaper brushes and then make your way up to these once you feel more comfortable. And with that guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Check out gunplanetwork.com for all of your kit reviews and news, and I will see you guys next time.